Hello and welcome back to Holt, Hanley Weather. In today's fire weather forecast, we're going to be talking about eastern New Mexico and western Texas, where a combination of low relative humidity, high temperatures, and extreme winds are going to be causing some really severe fire weather danger in this area. As you can see, it's eastern New Mexico and western Texas where this red flag warning is put in place throughout the day today and working its way into tomorrow. So like I said, fire weather danger is the combination of three major things: high temperatures, extreme winds, and low relative humidity. And it's really the sweet spot of what's going on in the overall weather conditions that are causing these three boxes to be checked for eastern New Mexico and western Texas. And it's really all coming from the jet stream right here. As you can see, the jet stream has a little dip in it right over kind of Utah working into Arizona and New Mexico. And as we move through the day Monday, this little dip in the jet stream is going to move through New Mexico and then eventually work its way into the southeast. Now what that's doing though, if you notice right here, you got those red colorings. That indicates about 120 knot winds. And again, that's up in the atmosphere. You might not think that's important, but if there's a bunch of energy aloft, then some of that energy will propagate down to the surface, and we are going to be seeing some 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts in eastern Mexico and western Texas, really associated with this dip. This is actually also going to bring some severe thunderstorms, possibly inch-size hail to the Texas area. So it's interesting to see the combination of severe thunderstorms in one place and then fire danger in another. And it's, again, really all just associated with this little dip right here that's bringing in all this energy and extreme winds. So that's going to move through, and that's actually going to bring some severe weather to the southeast. If you want the updates on the severe thunderstorms we could be seeing there, you could check out my channel where I'm going to do another video really going into the more kind of thunderstorms and precipitation patterns. But again, this is the fire weather forecast for eastern New Mexico and western Texas. So we got the winds, and that's because of the jet stream, but we also have some really high temperatures in this area. As you can see, this is by about 5 p.m. today, and you can see places in Odessa and Lubbock really into the mid to high 70s, possibly reaching the 80s in some places. On this map, you can also see this low sitting right in northern Texas, and that's what's bringing these extreme winds into the area. You can actually see it on this map, these wind streams pushing in right into the area where you also see these orange colorings. Those orange colorings represent mid to high 70s. So mixed with these winds right here, gonna lead to some fire danger. And then as we move through the day here, you can see this low starts to move off, and then by tonight, obviously by nighttime, the temperatures cool off. So it's really a fire weather warning for really the afternoon today when we see those peak high temperatures. And really what a red flag warning means is that any fire that starts could become out of control really fast. So you probably don't want to be doing any campfires or throwing a cigarette on the ground or dragging chains behind your vehicle today. Any small fire that starts could spread out of control in just a flash. So that's that. We got the high temperatures, we got the winds, you can see them both on that map. Here's the other aspect that is lining up for this fire weather warning, and it's the dry air that low is bringing in. And this is showing surface relative humidity. And relative humidity, if you don't know, is just a measure of how much water vapor is in the air. Places like Florida around this time of year might have 80% humidity, because you think of Florida, you think it's always damp and muggy. Whereas this area in eastern New Mexico and western Texas is going to be extremely dry, and especially today, as right here, so the green colorings represent maybe relative humidities in the 60 to 70%. That's pretty high. And then these light browns are when you start getting into the 30%, and then the dark brown is when you get into the 5 to 15%. If you have 5 to 15% relative humidity, that's a pretty good indication you're going to have some extreme fire conditions in place for the day. And you can see this is showing 7 a.m. Monday morning, but as we move through the day, by really Monday afternoon, when we're seeing those peak winds, when we're seeing the peak temperatures, we're also seeing a drop in relative humidity. You see, when we started out the day, western Texas, eastern New Mexico was still in the greens, where maybe 60, 70%, but as the air warms up, it can hold a lot more water, so any water you had in place isn't going to be as substantial. It's going to drop into 5 to 15% relative humidity. You can see that with the dark browns working their way into eastern New Mexico, western Texas. So we get to 5 to 15% relative humidity while we have almost 80-degree temperatures, while we have 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts. It can pretty much make sense that any small fire that starts could spread out of control pretty fast with these kind of conditions. There are a few places that especially have some extreme fire conditions going on. One is Lubbock, Texas, and this map right here really shows the weird combination of severe weather and fire weather warning, really just separated by a couple counties. On the eastern side of this map, as you get into Matador and Childress, you can see there's actually severe thunderstorm threat where there's about 20 to 30% chance of some lightning, some hail, some thunder. And then just west of that location, you get these really warm temperatures mixed with the dry air and the high winds. You can see 77 at Brownfield, 75 in Lubbock. That's what we're looking at right now. So you see the winds right here, 60 to 70 miles per hour. And again, that's just associated with that dip in the jet stream, bringing a ton of energy into this region. On the eastern side of this map, we could have inch-size hail. Luckily, tornadoes aren't very likely, but then on the western side, as you get into Lubbock, that's where we don't see these severe thunderstorms bringing any rain. The conditions are extremely dry, 5 to 15% relative humidity, creating some fire danger. And you see our red flag warning. This is showing the counties that have the red flag warning. You can see Lubbock is right in this area where relative humidity, 10 to 15%, 20 to 30 mile per hour winds with gusts up to 45 miles per hour. Just, again, checking all the boxes for extreme fire danger. So if you live in this area, you might want to watch out today. Definitely don't be starting any small fires. The other area we're looking at is Midland and Odessa in Texas. Same story, but actually more extreme winds in this area. It's also going to be warmer too, because it's a little bit farther south. But as you can see, 70 mile per hour gusts. That is almost reaching hurricane status. Hurricanes start at 74 miles per hour. So that really puts it into context how substantial these gusts actually are. And you can see relative humidity is even lower as well, 5 to 15%. So I think if there's going to be any extreme fires throughout the day today, it's probably going to be in the Odessa area where we have even lower relative humidity. 5% is about as low as you're ever going to see, mixed with some 70 mile per hour wind gusts. Now what that can do is you think, oh, wind might put out a fire. Not exactly. If a fire starts, think of the ash that gets thrown in the air. 70 mile per hour wind gusts can pick up those ashes, drop them elsewhere, start another fire. That's called spotting. And really, the winds can just spread the fire rapidly and then turn it into a massive wildfire within just a matter of minutes. And you can see 15 to 10 degrees above normal. So looking at the average temperatures for this region, we're above that average by about 10 degrees. We're into the high 70s, low 80s. And again, that might not be that crazy, but when you mix it with extremely dry air and extremely strong winds, you get some fire danger. So if you live in these areas, I would strongly encourage you not to light any fires today, throw any cigarettes, anything like that. And if you want to stay updated with fire weather videos throughout this entire fire season, it's only March and it's already started, so we've got a long ways to go, and I'm sure there's going to be some big fires coming up pretty soon. As we can see, there are some places that are already in a drought, even though we're just getting out of winter. So if you want to stay updated with these videos, you can subscribe to my channel, and thanks for watching.